This is the first time I've talked today, so hello. This is an interview with Jorn Swart, musician, music teacher, meme maker. I don't know if you would like that title, but that's kind of what I need him to be for the sake of this interview, because I'm making a video essay about memes and meaning and art. And I specifically wanted to ask him how he feels about making memes and video clips for the internet and social media versus making conventional music, and if he values them the same, if he feels like both are real art or not. It was a really nice conversation. It was supposed to be an interview, but I couldn't keep myself from butting in with my own thoughts, so it turned out to be more of a discussion. Yeah, I hope you enjoy. Yeah, so thanks for doing this. Do you want to maybe like introduce yourself a little bit, like say what you do, or like how you like kind of like see what you do?
Sure. Yeah, my name is Jorn. I'm a pianist. I'm from Holland. I studied in Amsterdam, did my jazz piano studies there, undergrad, moved to New York in 2010, did my master's, and then just stayed in New York. That was not really the plan originally, but it kind of worked out that way. Started playing and writing and doing lots of different projects. Just both my own and working with other people. Um, yeah, and then in the last few years, I've sort of gravitated to a couple of different things. One of which is, I think, the one that you reached out about is my piano string theory account, which is, social media accounts, mostly on Instagram, but also, other. There's a website connected to it, and it was really about sort of all my piano specific, a lot of music theory things. Like it's either educational, like doing little how to play stride piano in 5 steps, and it's like short little videos.
Yeah, I saw
Um,
that. Yeah.
and then I'm trying to connect that to blog posts that have maybe a little more substance to it, or direct them to. I also wrote a ebook. um, I spent a couple of years on that about reharmonization.
Yeah, I saw
Um,
that. I saw that too. Yeah. I was actually going to ask you if reharm is like a specific passion of yours, because like the video that we're going to talk about later obviously is a reharm of a song.
right, right.
Uh,
Yeah, I mean, it's connected to, I think, just my jazz piano, whatever, upbringing, I guess. Like, just like, I love chords. I love like when I really started getting serious about music was when I was introduced by my teacher to jazz harmony. Like, just the world of harmony was just like amazing to me. So, and I think it goes for a lot of jazz musicians, and sometimes, they do it too much. So I also like I'm fully aware of that. Sometimes it's completely unnecessary. Reharmonizations can be completely unnecessary, but they can still be really fun to do. And especially in a more yeah, comedic context, like the 5/7 song, like it is kind of the ridiculousness of it that kind of makes it even more funny.
mhm.
Um, and but yeah, this I have other projects where it's sort of like trying to do the complete opposite. So I have like a peaceful piano project called Duke, Doeke, which is like kind of stripped down, like kind of going against everything else that I've been doing till that point, like just actually just trying to write some beautiful, simple melodies, simple harmonies, but something I stand by, something I think is pretty and beautiful, something I would listen to myself. Um, that's not like I'm not trying to like sell out or anything. It's just like, okay, I do have these different interests that are sort of, I mean, I don't know, competing, but they occupy different spaces. And I noticed, I started noticing a few years ago that putting that onto either speech, so it could be like a scene from The Office or Seinfeld or something, and turning the speech itself into melodies, transcribing that, and then trying to put harmonies on that, and suddenly turning that into a song.
I hate so much about the things that you choose to be.
And I just really enjoy doing. I think it's funny, and like and it seems to also like resonate. Like it does well on social media, which is, I mean, something we can talk about too, just like
We will.
the dirty secret of social media. But yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I was just listening to some of the music from your band Malnoia Malnoia, how do you pronounce it?
Yeah, yeah,
When I was cooking earlier, I was listening to it, and it's kind of perfect because it's like this like pretty fall weather in Amsterdam right now,
nice.
and I was like chopping vegetables and like smelling soy sauce and stuff, and then like I don't know, something about that in combination with the melodies of Paulche was really nice.
Oh, great, great to
Yeah,
hear.
so
Thank you.
that's cool. So yeah, I guess let's kind of get into it a little bit. So I was curious about if you, so you already kind of mentioned that like you make things that occupy different little spaces. You have like the more calm piano music that you do with Duke, and then you have like the funny stuff that you do on social media. I particularly like this one that I saw that he did with Gotham Chess. Like I feel like he really nailed how rhythmic he is and like how he speaks and like I think you put
Yeah.
like a bit of like a show tuney type thing underneath it. I thought it was nice. But do you like yeah, so something that I kind of want to talk about partially is maybe if you're an artist and you're living in this age, you're sort of forced to deal with social media a little bit, whether you like it or not. I saw that you made a post about like from like I think 2 years ago or something where you were sort of telling the people on your Instagram channel that you were grateful for all the people that listen on Spotify to your music, and you specifically said in your caption like I'm not a fan of vanity metrics, which I thought was a good term. But you're also happy to see that people were finding your art because like ultimately obviously that's kind of you do want to reach people.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, I guess my question is like, do you because of that, do you see sort of the more like classical style, like as in like classically what we consider to be art, like music? Do you consider that to be like of like a maybe like a higher like value for yourself, or do you kind of do you like the videos that you make equally? Like, do you have like a or like do you see yourself as like a musician first and then maybe like a social media person second or something?
Mm. Yeah, it's interesting. I don't really know if I had to really I don't know if I can really put it in a box like that. Um, or like even a hierarchy is hard. I think I probably would say if you're asking me, are you a musician first or social media? I would say I'm a musician first, 100%. Um, and the social media, yeah, it is definitely more of a tool than like the goal in itself, I would
Okay.
say. Um, I do think some of the videos I make, I really enjoy making them for their own sake. I think I would enjoy it even if I didn't post them. And some of them do really well, and some of them don't hit at all. And sometimes I'm like, well, I really enjoyed making that anyway. Um, and that's fine. Um, would I mean, I've considered like, oh, I mean, I could release this as an album. I would honestly stand by it. It gets a little complicated with copyright and stuff, I intellectual property, so I'm just kind of staying away from it. But in theory, if I did an album of like, speech reharmonizations or speech harmonizations, I guess it's not really reharmonizations, but like if I could do an album of like, the like office clips with music on it, like I would 100% stand by that. I think that could be a to me a work of art, I guess. Like just as in not like, oh, it's amazing, more like it could
Yeah,
be
yeah.
as for me, like it's similar to other projects I've done, and I consider that to be serious art or something. I
Hmm.
mean, like just because it's comedic doesn't mean it's not, well, you're a comedian, right? Like, are you do
I
stand up?
I do some stand up. I only recently started with it. I guess you're going off of the little titles that I gave myself in my Instagram bio, but I also make music. I want to get into comedy. It's like this thing I'm doing. I've only started doing this for like a month, so all this, I don't have any real titles yet. I started stand up 2 weeks
Yeah,
ago
no,
this
I
week.
mean, my point is not like, yeah, my point is not
Yeah,
put you on spot, but more like, okay, you consider, is comedy is an art form, right?
yeah.
There's a skill, there's a craft, there's a history, there's like people are studying it, like people are going to come, like they try out material over and over and again. Like it's very similar to like studying jazz or something like that. It's just it's also an art form, but yeah, people consider it like serious art? Like I don't know, maybe they do. Some I think many people maybe don't, but it's partly like I think the question is just sort of a semantic question. Like, it all depends how you define it. Uh,
Hmm.
I I don't really care how you define, like, it just depends if what you call art. If some people call design art, and some people say design is design, and then there's art, and but then there can be a design exhibition in a museum, so now it's art, or you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
all, it doesn't really matter to me, to be honest, what you call it. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, just about the social media thing, I do think that's, most people do consider that a tool because it is really hard to just make a living of uh, only doing social media. It's like used to lead people to other places, you know. For me,
Mm.
it's my course. I'm working on this. Well, the ebook is finished, but I'm working on a course that's, it's basically the same thing. Like it's a video course on reharmonization. So I'm in the final stages of editing it. So the idea is that the people who are interested in harmonies and they're finding me through these videos, they you know that's potential audience for me, for that might be interested in my course, for example. Um, it's harder with music maybe to, well, I mean, people do go viral with their videos and then like it helps them create listeners on their original music too, I guess. It's a little harder when it's not educational or funny. I think those are two really big things on social media that just work well. And the educational part is okay, that's directly linked to, you know, if you're trying to sell a course. The funny part is not really related to, it's just kind of for its own sake. So it helps reach people, but it doesn't say anything about what those people want. So I have noticed that, um, for example, my the first time I reached, I guess a video went viral that I posted was this on my Duca account, so my peaceful piano account, and I did it on TikTok and Instagram, and the TikTok account grew from like a couple hundred followers to 10,000 followers in a couple weeks. And but very quickly I realized that all those followers were just interested in funny. It was like a funny video of me playing with a kid who talks about corn. Um, and yeah, then basically everything else I posted after that about was my original music, peaceful, calm music. Had not a lot to do with that video, and I got no engagement. So the algorithm just thought that, you know, shows it to a couple of my followers, they don't respond because most of them they don't care about that. Then
Mm.
the algorithm thinks it's your content is bad or the music is bad, and it doesn't show it to anyone. So it was kind of, that whole account got ruined because of this. I basically stopped using that, the TikTok account. It's just kind of it's a grave now, a
Mm.
graveyard. And so then I started splitting up all my different projects, like a separate account for piano string theory, separate for my personal one, separate for this project and that project. That helps a lot because then it is a little more like, okay, the people who start following you. Um, but I still notice it with piano string theory because I had one last year that went, it was a Kamala Harris one actually that also went viral, and I got, yeah, I got a lot of new followers, and I have noticed since then that yeah, I I think a lot of those followers are just, they thought that video was funny, and they didn't really care about the harmonies I was using it, or like, and
Yeah.
that's the thing, like I do think in the videos or the yeah, there's so much behind it that is art, that comes from art, like my, you know, my education, but also like just having studied jazz for so long and transcribing, you know, pianists I love, like that's all in there. It's just, you know, you might not know, but it's all in there. So like, um that's coming from a very serious place, you know.
Hmm.
Everyone I listen to, Bill Evans, Herbie Hancock, it's just like, it's all in there. um and it might not be as obvious as when you, for example, do a video of like you know, some people do transcriptions, they play a famous solo, and that's very engaging. A lot of people like that too. And that is more directly like, okay, now I'm learning something about this, how this pianist plays music, and I'm seeing maybe the notes and someone is playing along with it, and that's educational.
Mm.
But some of these other more funny videos, it's more indirect. So yeah, I'm not really sure what I'm trying to say, but it is like there's art in there, but it's like sort of deeper buried in it, and I don't know how, you know, if everyone is
Yeah.
big.
That touches on a lot of stuff that I wanted to touch on, so that's good. I guess like maybe I'll explain more specifically. So, what I'm trying to do with this video is that you're already saying a lot of things that I find interesting. Like earlier, you said the phrase the algorithm decided that it wasn't good art or something, which is like such an like interesting way to like sort of think about how what you're posting is like how it's valued, I guess. And like that's pretty much directly related to how I how I came to even make the video that I'm trying to make right now. So I reached out to you because I saw a video by Brian Jordan Alvarez. I think his name, three names, it's hard to remember. But it's called 5'7". It's a funny song um, about a guy who lies to his wife about his height, which is kind of ridiculous. Um, and the first time I even saw that video is because it was your version, was like your duet with him, where you like did your accompaniment with him, and I thought it was so interesting because you like like obviously you're a skilled piano player and you're able to like find these like complexities in the song that like you were able to like add like a layer of like harmonic complexity that totally shifted the like emotional feel for me. And now I don't even think it's a funny song anymore. I think it's just actually touching. I think it's actually kind of touching. Like that specifically, my favorite part is um, like he says like please don't laugh at me with my wife, and you do like a little walk down. I don't know, like I just I've had goosebumps revisiting that video. But like that and a few other videos that I'm or few other memes that I'm discussing are these little like diamonds in the rough for me where all of us have had this experience in this day and age where we scroll for forever, and then by the end of it, you feel terrible because you're just consuming a bunch of empty stuff, and it's not even being fed to you with any kind of reason. Like there's an algorithm that decides what's good, like you said earlier. And like yeah, also what you said earlier about how you have all this like harmonic understanding that you use when you make your videos. That's all really in there. It's a I think it's like a 2 or maybe like a 1 minute video, but obviously you're a trained musician, you have your skills, you have your passions, and that all comes out in there. And I think that you can maybe make the case that it's sort of true for many of these memes. And I think that maybe a lot of that emptiness that we feel from scrolling so much is because like we're totally not engaging with I hate the word engagement in this context, but we're like not engaging with the human element of it. That like somebody made this, whether they thought it was funny or whether they like heard it like a joke song and thought it was pretty. So yeah, and I really want to live my life feeling like looking back on it at the end and thinking like, oh man, I'm glad I didn't spend all of it watching the feed.
Yeah,
Um,
it's
so
really
I kind of
hard.
wanted to like I wanted to highlight some of these memes that I've liked over the years and that I've actually remembered
Mhm.
and kind of like yeah like give them a little like spotlight and be like this is actually more than what we see it as like I think it's more valuable and what I specifically feel about your choice to reharmonize these things and like find these funny little or like find these funny little like videos actually musical and try to bring that out. Like I feel like that kind of agrees with my point. I feel like if you do that, like you hear that song and you think, "Oh, that's actually pretty. I
Mm.
actually want to use my like education in jazz music and whatever, like and show that it's pretty, I guess."
Mm.
Like I don't know if you agree with this, but like
When I
that's kind
saw,
of
you mean the original video of 5'7"?
yeah.
Like, you're asking if I saw something in there that was not just, oh, it's just funny, but there's actually something beautiful in it, and I can get it out by using my skill to make it, get that emotional value out of it.
Yeah, I feel like that sort of like implicitly agrees with me. But like, how do you feel about that video? Like, do you like that video? Are you proud
The
of it?
original
Yeah, or like, do you
or the one I
like
made?
both? Do you like the original video, and are you proud of the video that you
Yeah.
made yourself with it? How do you
I
feel
think that
about
was a really that was I was very happy with that one. Sometimes it's really trial and error, and sometimes it just works out, and you try some stuff, and then it's like, yeah, that walk down oh, that was really sort of, yeah, what you're saying. It just adds this sort of dramatic, emotional feeling to what he's singing about. It's about, he has been lying about his height to his wife. It really is such a funny concept, but it is true that I think there's something emotional about it. Um, and I was happy to be able to get that out. But it really, like, I mean, I can say, that's I was trying to do that. It's just like it really sometimes it's just hit or miss. That's kind of the truth also with art or any sort of art form. You just like you try out stuff and sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't. And if it works out, it's great.
Hmm.
Uh, but it really kind of depends. I do think like a lot of Brian Jordan Alvarez's stuff is really funny and his characters, he uses these filters to have these different characters that he plays, and I do think they're really good. So I sometimes see one and I'm trying, and you don't see everything I don't post, right? Sometimes I try something and I'm trying to put music and it just doesn't work. And then I give up and I don't post it, right? So once in a while, yeah, like 5/7 was a great one. There's one called Sitting that I really like too. Um, yeah, and if especially if I'm able to, yeah, use my harmonic stuff in a way that I think is tasteful, like I there's some depth to it, and but it works. It's very satisfying to me. Yes, I think those have yeah, and what you were saying earlier about like yeah, it's the doom scrolling. Yeah, I do it too, and it is depressing, and I do think there's some really good stuff being made, I guess. But sometimes the goods, what's it's like what I was saying earlier about what's good is like defined by the algorithm as engaging, and people keep watching, and it just sucks you into this wormhole, and it's half an hour later you kind of wake up, and it's like what happened, and I do think it's a waste of time. So I don't know what the answer to that is because yeah, it has also given us some really amazing stuff and funny videos, and some of it is pretty artful, I think, and um, yeah, makes people happy. But maybe yeah, that it's I don't know what the answer. Maybe a curated, if you're saying, there are some of these I want to highlight some of these reels or these videos that they're amazing, then yeah, maybe you want to just watch the five best ones of that day or something. I don't know how that would even work, but yeah, it's very difficult. I don't really know the answer to it. And I also will say that I think it is yeah, it is a bit you're cheating a little bit because you are yeah, using all this harmonic knowledge. And I was saying it a little bit before, but like I'm using, of course, uh, uh, this it doesn't exist in a vacuum. It's based on a lot of other music. Like 5/7 is also kind of like a samba. Like it's using like Brazilian Brazilian music.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about it that way before. I hadn't recognized the samba elements as much. Um, I think that like if I'm really honest, I don't think the answer is a better feed. I don't think that the answer is a better algorithm that like is able to select better art for you that feels better to consume. I think that what you're saying about it being isolated um and yeah, it's sort of like it not showing as much like connection to other things is a really big part of why it feels so bad to do without us realizing. But yeah, I think the real truth is that like if you want to get the valuable like emotional load that you can get from art, I think like maybe just don't look for it on social media. Like I have a lot of like difficulties with the writing of this video because I made this video after I deleted Instagram to make my life better because I was doom scrolling so much, and I wanted to sort of counteract some of the like the meaninglessness and the how do you say like lack of attention we give to all these things that are genuinely kind of cool that people have made. But to make this video now, I'm back on social media and I'm reaching out to people on Instagram again. So it's difficult. But something that you said in the beginning of your answer to my previous question that I kind of wanted get more of an explicit answer to, I guess, is you say sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't. Like, are you saying in terms of like how you feel about it, or is that a vanity metrics thing? Like, is that
No,
like
no,
actually like
no, no.
working out
It's
in
what
terms
I
of
say. It's what I feel about it.
okay.
Before I even post it, I'm sometimes like I'm trying out stuff. I'm trying to put a music to George Costanza saying something silly, and I'm just like
Mm,
I can't find the right harmony, or I can't make it work, or
mm.
it's not the voice is not melodic enough. I can't really dissect a melody from it, and then I kind of give up and I'll try something else. That definitely happens, and that's less related to. That's what I was saying earlier. If I like it and I post it and it doesn't do well and it's bad according to the algorithm, I don't care that much,
Okay.
you know.
So I have noticed that you have a lot of videos where you use Brian Jordan Alvarez stuff, and maybe this is maybe a bit of a mean question, but I was curious, like, have you seen before that it worked out well on social media, and now you're trying to do that more? Like, if you're being honest, or do you just like you said you do say that you find him funny for real, and like maybe you just feel like you have a good match with him, like you feel like you can, I don't know. Like, how do you
Um,
feel about that?
yeah, I mean, it probably goes hand in hand a little bit. Like, of course, I would lie if I said I didn't care about going viral at all. I'm like, but I also know I can't really control it. So it is sort of, yeah. I don't always know. I mean, I make something, I'm like, okay, this is really good. I think this is gonna do well, and it does. And yeah, with regards to Brian Jordan Alvarez, I think it was really like I just really enjoyed his sort of songs. Um, so and his character TJ TJ Mack, right?
Hmm.
Um, so that I think that was I just really enjoyed that, and I can't remember what the first one maybe was Sitting was the first one maybe I did. So yeah, I think that did really well, and I did think that was a really good. I was like really proud of that one as well. So yeah, I probably part of me was like, yeah, let's try that again with another song, and then maybe that was 5-7. I can remember. He hasn't released many songs after that, I don't think. But yeah, no, it matters somewhat. But it's not at the top of my mind. Honestly, I'm like mostly at this point just trying to finish my video course, and I try to like post some stuff, and sometimes I'll just I've been just posting stuff from gigs I do, just it's not as much related to all these memes. um I try not to stress too much about it because it's you could be chasing it, and that just becomes your life to go viral, but as I said before, it's not really the point. um because you don't even you can't make any money of it in itself, so or make a living out of it or have it be your career. So I have other stuff that I'm doing, and I hope that all these things, they just add up, and they help me do this other stuff.
Yeah,
But
that makes
if
sense.
once in a while it goes viral, it's nice, but no, it's not my main concern.
No, I don't get the sense that it's your main concern. I was asking about it because I can imagine that maybe it's like almost difficult to see for yourself. Um, because like you said that one of those videos that you made with him, it did well, but you also were genuinely proud of it. So maybe like, like
Right.
there's a part of you that goes like, well, I like doing this and I'm being rewarded for it anyway. I might as well do it again.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, Um, yeah. Oh, so you're working on all these video courses, and you have that ebook that you brought out 2 years ago or something.
Yeah.
The like reharmonizing thing. So I sort of feel like that's again like in a way that's also breaking away from even though you have to engage with social media, you're breaking away from it, and it seems like you're trying to make bigger things that are. Oh, that's. I got a message that said we only have 10 minutes left,
Oh,
so
okay.
that's fine. I don't have that much left to ask. So you're making bigger things that you feel like are more valuable than like just making little snippets and throwing them out on Instagram and TikTok and seeing if anybody bites.
Mhm.
Um, so I don't know, like that feels in line with what I also believe that. Um, that social media has a way of kind of uh yeah, fractioning things and taking like the little bits away that it needs for it to work from you, like having you put out a video and then it uses that video for itself and whatever. Like it doesn't really give you back sort of like what you deserve in a way. So like you're making these like courses that are more useful than just watching a single video, and what is this video course thing actually? What is that?
It's gonna be called, it's 10 Steps to Reharm video course. So it's based, the book is called 10 Steps to Reharm. And the video course will be like the video version of that. I think it might replace the PDF, because the PDF it's like, 150 pages. It's very dense and it's hard to teach music in that way, I think. I think this video course will be me like talking to the camera. You see all the examples with overhead. So you see me playing the examples and explaining the concepts. I've basically 10-step approach to it. Yeah, so it's pretty dense, but I think it's the video course will really be yeah, be sort of this is how I do these things. And I started doing it in the pandemic. I started doing reharmonizations on YouTube like once a week. That's kind of how
Hmm.
it started. And then people just started asking like how do I do this? Like how can I do it? It's kind of a hard question, because it's like, well, I guess, yeah, how you do it is like study music for 2 decades or something. It's not really a satisfying answer. But if you're asking specifically, okay, there is some sort of like, techniques that you can use to do this thing. So yeah, so social media is a great tool, and I do think like you find real people like that. There's real people on the other side of that. So like who have found my music, who have found the course, who have you found me through there. Like we're having an actual conversation about music, and like that's valuable, I think. And I think it's the following through part, connecting, like realizing there's other people on the other side. And that's often people forget. Sometimes people say really mean stuff too on posts. And I've learned to like, yeah, be less not care that much, because it would just be like, oh, it's just social media. That's probably the right thing to do, but also it's like it's real people. I mean, of course there's bots too, but um I think if the experience can be positive, it's a nice thing that it's real people. And I think we kind of want to embrace that. And
Hmm.
yeah, but I do want to see that more. That's kind of part of it. It's like once I have the course, I'll also have like I have a Facebook group connected to it, so where people can share their own reharmonizations, comment on it. I'll give feedback on it. So it will be like more like a way more like a community thing, rather than,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
just
cool.
posting some stuff on online. Yeah.
So that's kind of actively like that sort of like project actively tries to bridge those gaps that we all know about from social media. That like you are trying to find more of a connection with the other people. You are trying to humanize other people more.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
cool. But like at the same time, the course that you're saying this new course might replace the PDF. But the new course is like it's funny because the new course is videos and it's more of like a social media like format still. But like so like yeah, it's interesting
I
because
wouldn't say so, because it's video, yes, but it's it's uh it's probably over 100 videos, and and it's gonna take, it's not like this course gonna take months for anyone to get through.
yeah, no, sorry, I'm maybe like I'm trying to say something interesting, so the way that I'm phrasing it is
No,
kind
no,
of
no,
mean. But
no
what I
worries.
mean is that like many people have learned how to play jazz piano from you, but also from people like Charles Cornell, and now Open Studio is doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
And that actually turns out to be a very useful way to teach people. Like you were saying before, like it's actually kind of more intuitive and communicative to have a video and the sheet music and like seeing what you're doing than the actual text. So, but I
yeah,
do feel that that format kind of came from people online explaining how to do stuff. So
right.
it's interesting. I just feel like um, it's so easy to say social media bad, but it's so big and it contains so much. Like you said, like it also is real people talking to each other. That saying social media is bad is kind of like saying that traffic is bad. It's um, uh,
Well, if I can say one thing about that, because it's like for example, about teaching music,
Hmm.
it's not that the video thing is sort of the social media version of what was originally the textbook, because music wasn't taught from the textbook.
Mm.
It's taught in person, right? So and especially jazz is taught from listening to music and transcribing it and going like it's not from and then it's from, of course, if you went to jazz school, but that's not how people used to learn, right? They used to learn just by playing with other people and having mentors who would teach them, and people would transcribe and then learn the language that way, and then give their own spin on it. But it's like it's a really like sort of a lifelong process,
Mm.
uh, and that's really kind of opposite to what social media is in every
Yeah,
way, right? The
that's fair.
it's short, and I think the video course is slightly more in line with having a mentor trying to teach you some stuff. And then if I add, if you can do something like Facebook group, maybe some live streams where you answer questions and
Mm.
stuff like that, you kind of group lesson. But it's really hard to teach music over the internet in a way,
Hmm.
because yeah, you can do a little like I do those stride piano 5 steps, of course, but you're not going to learn stride piano in 5 steps. You're not going to learn it in a 30-second video. There's no way. It requires a lifetime of studying music, of course. So, um, yeah, that's kind of my point about the video format itself is coming from trying to more be a little closer to like how maybe you would normally teach music, which is in person.
Yeah, that makes sense. We have 2.5 minutes. I would love to keep talking if you have time. Would you mind starting a new Zoom call?
Sure. Yeah, I have to leave in 15 minutes, but
Okay,
we
that's
can have
perfect.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
great.
cool. Then I'll close out this one and then I'll come back with a new link in 2 seconds.
Yeah, sounds good.
Cool. Okay, well, that would have been really fun to do another meeting if it would have actually saved, but unfortunately it didn't. I'll try to give you a little summary of things that we touched on so that you have like an idea about what was in that recording that is now lost to the sands of time. Yeah, so I didn't get to record the most important question that I kind of wanted to do the whole interview for, which is I wanted to ask Jorn if he felt like memes were art. Jorn does a very good job of illustrating in the previous video that behind those little clips that you just sort of feed to the algorithm and hope that it's kind to them. There is actual talent and passion, sometimes even like professional like level artistry and like schooling and all that stuff behind it. There is real like aesthetic taste that people use to make videos or clips of or little like other types of memes that we take 2 seconds to watch and then we scroll through to the next thing. Um, I frequently feel like we should value memes more frequently as art or on that kind of level. I think it's like more fair towards the memes to treat them that way as like real valid art. And I think it's uh more fair to like yeah, I think it's more fair to the memes. I think it's more fair to the like the meme artist. That sounds terrible, but I mean that with true reverie. And I think it's more fair to ourselves. I think we get more out of it if we were more patient and were able to curb our sort of gluttony, consuming all the like consuming the feed basically. There was another bit about The Sopranos where Jorn pointed out how shorts and clips can be like a bit reductionist towards an already existing piece of art. He said that he really loves The Sopranos, and then he sees people who just watch the little clips and are totally missing all the like. I'm paraphrasing here, but I also like The Sopranos, so this is what I'm assuming. These people are missing like the sort of like emotional like complexity and sort of like emotion, yeah, like a I don't know, like the controversial nature of the show that's sort of like intended to be there. It's one of those shows where you have like a topic that is often sort of glorified in media, and it does a really good job of highlighting why that's maybe not so healthy, and maybe you don't get that if you just watch it through shorts. I've seen all of Friends through shorts, basically. I really enjoyed doing this interview with Jorn. It was really sweet of him to take the time to talk to me. There was like the final bit that I thought was funny that we left out is that I asked him if he wanted to shout out anything, and but like I don't really have a following yet, so I asked him if he wanted to shout out anything to my mom. I thought that was a pretty funny joke of me. Anyway, yeah, no, so thank you to Jorn for doing this interview and participating in this like little discussion about memes and art and like undervaluing things that people make, I guess. Anyway, thank you for your time. And hopefully I'll see you next time. Before I forget, check out Jorn's music and his courses. And please, if you have time, watch Finding Memening. I worked really hard on it. I'm really proud of it. It's my first video essay ever. I hope you like it. See you later. Okay, I think that really is enough. Ciao.